All right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. The conversation starts right now. This is a chance we give a young panel to discuss matters of national interest. And the simple question we're asking this morning is to dialogue or not? And how should that dialogue be structured? Who should be on the table? What are the issues that Trevor Mbiji at CitizenTV Kenya use the hashtag Daybreak? That's a conversation we're having right now. Let me start by introducing my guest from my farthest right on the upper deck, Victor Kiprono. He's the CEO Zero Barefoot Campaign. Thank you for making time. Abdulaziz Mohammed is here as a youth leader. Thank you very much for making time. Harrison Nganga is a youth leader from Kiambu. Asante sana for making time. Ashley Rono, youth leader from Baringo. Thank you very much for making time. And John Wesonga, advocate of the High Court. Asante sana for making time. Omondi Koyo, Secretary General, National Liberal Party, has just walked in. We'll drop him into the discussion as we go along. But I'd like to hear from you mostly at Trevor Mbiji at CitizenTV Kenya. Use the hashtag Daybreak. Victor, I'll start with you. To dialogue or not?
I think we have a room for dialogue, but as we start to talk about dialogue, you should come to the table with clean hands, with no demands, and ready to dialogue on a clean slate, you know, because we've been talking about dialogue for the longest, but I think now it is the right time to dialogue when, as a country, we've seen the need to dialogue, and what dialogue is very cheap, and the opposite is very expensive. So I think dialogue at this moment is very important. But also as we dialogue, we need to be genuine enough so that when we dialogue, we get the real results of the dialogue. Yeah. Because today the young people are very agitated and they feel like they need their voices to be heard by the state and by the government. And in several occasions, the head of state, the president, has said, let's come and dialogue. You know, the last time when the president called for dialogue, the young people really didn't show up. They show up on an online platform. I think it was the last minute rush on Zoom. But I think this time we are going now to all of us, we are going to say, let's dialogue, let's come together. Even the church, even civil society groups, we need to be a multi-sectoral approach so that as we dialogue, let's have an holistic approach of issues. Let's even start from the community level so that when we dialogue this time round, let's have a healing process of a nation, because what we are experiencing today as a country and as a nation, I feel there is a great deal to morality and to how society has been decaying over time. And there is need for national healing, for dialogue, so that as a country we may move forward and now have a new renaissance. We need to have a renaissance as a country so that going forward, we have a country where there is respect of rule of law, there is respect of government institutions, there is respect of our police, there is even respect of the head of state. Nowadays, you walk around the streets and you find people talking as if the respect, I don't know where, we missed it. I don't know where the rain started beating us. We need to dialogue so that as a country, really, we need to come back to where we missed it.
So you feel there's some general disrespect for the rule of law and disrespect for those in authority?
Correct. There is actually a huge disrespect of government institution. There is a huge disrespect of even the authority in place. If you check the last 3 or 4 months, the kind of, if you go to a social media platform, for example, and how the young people are engaging even with government, even the language, even the tone is very disheartening. And I think it is time now that we heal as a country. If there is a problem, even we need to ask God for forgiveness, because to me, I think there is a moral decay, and it even starts from the family, from the family levels, because today, as I was driving to Citizen Television, I really felt a sigh of relief because the air is really fresh. I asked myself why, and I remembered Rigathi Gachagua is outside the country, and we need to now start afresh and still continue breathing the fresh air of peace.
Okay, Abdulaziz, are we generally a disrespectful nation, and is it time for talks or not?
And before I give my opinion, to touch on what he said, respect is normally earned through respect, not through just stamping and threats. Now, my opinion is that we should not have any kind of dialogue with the current regime. having any dialogue with the current regime is the equivalent of a girl telling a boy she's tired of that she's going to call him back because she's busy closing the fridge, and she ends up calling back after 5 years. This is a regime that is led by men and women with questionable character. This is a regime which the distance between what they say and what they do can take you a 24-hour flight to cover. And you know, I am a very good student of history. If you remember the 2008 talks led by Kofi Annan, which were done in Serena, there is a name that always popped up as against the dialogue then. And even the former Tanzanian president, Benjamin Mkapa, once said, and I quote, "Locking out Ruto and Karua from the 2008 talks saved Kenya." So I think we must suspend our cognitive skills to think that we can have any dialogue with the man and his minions, because a leopard never changes its spots.
Okay. Harrison, time for dialogue or not?
Thank you, Trevor, and good morning to every Kenyan that is listening to us. For me, yes, dialogue. And I believe we must first appreciate the diversity that we have in our country. That one, dialogue, it's not to the government or even us versus the government. It is for all of us. We must agree that everyone in this country has a role to play. And when we talk about dialogue, and as my fellow panelists said, we want everyone in that dialogue. Because if you think about the problems that are facing our country, they don't face that just one side. And everyone has a contribution that he or she needs to make. We don't need to think of a dialogue of a government versus its people. And if you must note, Trevor, the people are never in opposition, because at the end of the day, the government is made by the people. So it's a point of us rethinking as Kenyans. The events of the past 3 weeks has really given the need for dialogue and has shown the vital role that dialogue can play in our country. We have known from past experience that dialogue solves problem. Remember, and Abdi here has talked about 208. 208, we were in a crisis as a country, but it's only through dialogue that we came up with a solution. Whether some were locked out, whether some were in, we had a solution for this country. The past events in the last 3 weeks are not events that we can really be proud of. And we have to appreciate that this country can only move forward when all of us contribute to the role of building this country. So it's a point of, let us think about dialogue from a neutral point, not a point of us talking to the government. And it's a point of even us talking to a fellow young people. I talking to another young person, talking to a teacher somewhere, talking to a doctor somewhere, because all of us contribute to how the country is ran and how the country moves forward. So for me at this point, let us dialogue, let us sit down, let us rethink of how we got ourselves into this situation so that we can all move one as one, and we can all move the country forward. Thank you.
And you ask an important question, how did we get here? We'll get into that in just a bit. But Ashley, what is your view? To dialogue or not?
Thank you. For me, I'll go for dialogue because first, when we do dialogue, first at the start of it, dialogue, it has to have an action. If you go for dialogue and there's not an action or an implementation of what you have suggested, and I think we should also, when we're doing dialogue, people will ask you the question. We have done dialogue the other time. What were the impacts? What did we get from the dialogue? But now we want a dialogue where we have from the structure, the grassroots level now. We start from those town hall meetings, the local villages, in the local markets, and we get the information from the young people. We have to come with a dialogue which it has a structure, it has inclusivity, and it also have the way of the implementation part. We go to have the grassroots level, we have the inclusivity where we have the people from the urban areas and also from the rural areas. We have people from TVS, the colleges and the universities, and also the young people of Kenya and everything. And I think for me, dialogue is the way forward. And us as the young people, we are not the enemies of the state. but we are the hope of the state. And dialogue can really work if we come from the neutral point, where we are not blaming the government or we are not blaming each other. These people need to be heard. We have voices, and we have the thing. We should stop from going to the protest where we go shout and bring everything, but now come to the table where we can bring our views and our solutions. And I think through that we can really bring a good nation, because we have the information, we have what you are facing through, the mental health, the job opportunities, and we lack the skills. Okay, we know. We need job opportunities. What are the things so that you can get employed? The skills. How can you get the skills? Like, we start from the problem to the solution and everything. And also through this dialogue, we now go to the villages level. We now know, okay, we are now at the village level. We have come with the information. We have brought the report. We have bring experts also to the report. We have taken the report where we have transparency, we have on real data, and also we can see the accountability. After now, we have been transparent in what we have been doing. Are the people who have given the information, are the solutions which you have given tabled, is it accountable for? Is there a change you can see thereafter? So I think dialogue is the way forward, so that we can speak ourselves out also and save also our nation.
Okay. After the break, I'd like us to talk about what are the issues and who should sit on that table and what is the implementation matrix plus the time frames. But let me bring in first Wesonga on this. Wesonga, is it time to talk or not?
Thank you so much, Trevor, for having us here. And good morning to everyone. Yes, as Kenyans, it's time to hit that reset button. It's time to talk. Because what is happening really in Kenya right now, it is unprecedented. It's not the first time, per se, we are experiencing this, but I think we've come far, and it's going deep. So it's time for all of us Kenyans to come to the negotiation table with no demands, with no whatsoever like blame games. Come, let's talk. All the stakeholders, be it people who are holding offices in trust for us, be it youths, be it religious institutions, leaders, and also civil societies. It's time to bring all these grievances together. Let us have a conversation. Let us talk and come up with a solution that will work for all of us. Because as the main issue, as we've been experiencing for the last 1 year or so, it's been all about Gen Zs, youths, and whatnot. But we've not been able to really come down to what is really ailing us as a nation. Is it unemployment? Is it maybe high taxation? So let us come together. Let us go down to the real issues that is ailing us and try to come up with solutions. By the end of the day, if we burn this country to ashes, we have no other Kenyan that we will run to. This is our only country, and we can only save it when we come together with genuine concern, coming up with solution. If you're saying there's a problem somewhere, what is your suggested solution? What can the person in power do to be able to help you in that situation? Protest has never solved anything anywhere in the world. It will only bring problems and problems. And it will take like 30 years for us to be able to come out of this. We are good students of history. Look at our neighbors, for example, Sudan, or even Somalia. Since 1992, Somalia is not trying to come up to its term and trying to develop its country just because of something that could have been solved by just having a conversation, just talking and coming up with solution. The people who are in offices right now, they don't hold those offices forever. It's not their offices. They're just there in trust of us as youths, as Kenyans. So it's not about President Ruto as a person. The presidency is an institution. So let us not look at it as it is an individual who is there. We have to get this individual out, and then what?
Okay.
He will just be replaced by someone maybe worse. So what is the problem that is ailing us as a nation? What are the solutions? What are the suggested solutions?
Yeah.
Can we compromise something? If you are saying there's unemployment, what are you doing as an individual to come up with the solution that will help you? Going to school is not enough nowadays. Having that degree is not enough nowadays. You have to have a unique skill, because almost 90% of people in the street have degrees. They have gone to school. They have the skills. But what are you doing that is unique, that can really help bring something that is different from the general view? No. So it's time to talk. Okay. It is time. And we need to hit that reset button and come to the negotiation table. Clean slate, with no demands whatsoever, but with the aim that this is our country and we need to save it. Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back now, we talk about what are the issues and what are the possible solutions from your perspective. So assuming the talks have started today, what would you table as the issues and the possible solutions? And also after the break, Jared Mugendi, advocate of the High Court, and Umundi Koyo, Secretary General, National Liberal Party, will be joining us as well. We'll get their views on whether is it time to talk or not. And most we'd like to hear from you at Trevor Mbidi at CitizenTV Kenya. Use the hashtag Daybreak. See you in just a bit.